Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today, I am using my wife's mug. Don't let her know, I will be in trouble. Today I'm also going to be doing a quick look at the miniatures that come in the Warhammer 40,000 No Fear starter set. So, let's get on with doing that. I'm not going to show you every single miniature, but I'm going to show you a small sampling. And we will start with... This is a Space Marine Intercessor with a bolt rifle. It's pretty classic pose, really, that, isn't it? Really nice miniatures, and because these are the Primaris Space Marines, they're really big. I think they come up to about 36mm to eye height, so they really are huge. Really big models. Now, like I've said before, No Fear doesn't have push fit models, but it does have keyed models with keyed parts. So although you do need glue to put them together, you're not going to be able to push them together and leave them. You are going to need to glue those components together. They do only go together basically one way. They've given you some slight variation by basically allowing you to move small elements on the models. Now if I can find the other one, here we go. Sorry, I'm still wobbling the camera a bit. So this is actually the same model twice. You can see they look slightly different, but only because they're looking in different directions. That's because all of the arms and the body and the backpack, they're all keyed to fit in one single way, but the head has got a peg with a diamond-shaped section that allows you to rotate the head into one of two directions. So although it's not push fit, it's still relatively easy and much easier than a full Games Workshop kit, which has lots of optimization options, lots of customization options, lots of ways to adjust what the models look like so that every single piece is unique. You're not getting completely unique models here, you're getting models that go together one way. And the way it works out in the Intercessor squad is you get 2 each of the basic infantry and then a sergeant. So here's the sergeant. Sorry, is it a sergeant? Yeah, it's a sergeant. Very similar to the pose of the sergeant from the Easy Build Intercessors, actually. Very different. If you put them side by side, you might think it was the same model until you notice that the helmet is on the other side. On the Easy Build model, the helmet is on this side. So your Intercessor squad, anyway, will have the one sergeant, and then you get 2 of these guys, which are exactly the same apart from their head direction, and then you get 2 of these guys. And again, the head can look in 2 different directions, so you have one that's looking down the barrel of the rifle and one that's looking away. And it's surprising that just adjusting the head angle does make a difference in how they look. But Space Marines are Space Marines anyway, they all look quite similar. So you get a unit of 5 of those chaps. Sorry about my throat today. Don't know what's going on with that. The second unit you get is a unit of 5 Hellblasters. This is the Sergeant from the Hellblaster unit, and it's basically 5 Primaris Space Marines with really big plasma guns. They can put down a lot of firepower, and they can overcharge these in the same way you can with a regular plasma gun, which basically means if you roll a 1 to hit, you blow up, but otherwise you do copious amounts of damage, and you can rip through enemy units quite easily. Get up nice and close in the camera. And obviously, this is the Sergeant because he's not wearing a helmet. Classic Space Marine. So besides him, in the unit you get 4 regular infantry, and this is the 2 poses. So you get one, so walking this way, and again, one will look this way, and you can make the other one look the other way. And then you get 2 of these guys, and again, they can look left or right. Which is, it's not a groundbreaking amount of customization, but it is just enough to give the models just a little bit of visual distinction, which is better than nothing, isn't it? And I think it's a good compromise for having those keyed parts that fit together nice and quickly. I mean, with some Games Workshop Space Marine kits, it's very difficult to get the arms right, because normally you've got this arm is separate, and this arm is sometimes separate, and then the weapon is separate again, or the weapon might be attached to this arm, and you kind of put them together, and you have to kind of fiddle around and get them into a position where, you know, it gives you the options to kind of point the gun wherever you want, but you've got to kind of get it into position and hold it and make sure that it doesn't slip out. Whereas with this, this arm has got a peg on the end of it that goes into the wrist of the hand. The hand is attached to the gun. This arm is attached to the gun. So and then it's keyed at the shoulder here. So into the shoulder, into the wrist, and it only goes together that one way. You can't make the gun point up. You can't make the gun point out, but you get a good fit where everything goes together. There's no gaps or anything. So it's an acceptable compromise, I think. And I do think the models look nice. Okay, so besides the Hellblasters, you also get a squad of Inceptors. This is the sergeant for the Inceptors. They are the jump pack unit. My Inceptor is currently standing on blue tack because my box set didn't come with any of the plastic stems that usually fit up under the back here and make it look like they're flying. But I contacted Games Workshop, sent them a copy of my proof of purchase. They immediately responded and said, yep, we'll get you a set of those stems in the post, because I've very rarely had calls to contact Games Workshop, but whenever I have, their customer service has been excellent. But anyway, so those are the Inceptors, and these are really big. I'm going to put them next to this guy here. Just really, really big models. Lovely stuff. And besides the Inceptors, the only other thing you get in the Ultramarines army is the Captain, who's really, 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 really good model. Sorry I went a little bit quiet there, but I'm filming this on my iPhone today, and a little message just popped up on the screen, basically warning me that my wife was spending some money in a shop somewhere. She's just updated her social media, so that's something for me to be worrying about. Anyway, so yeah, he's got the Power Fist with the bolter attached and the Power Sword. Really big model, really, really good detail. He is huge. Again, he is, if I compare him to a regular Marine, considering he's not in Terminator armor or anything. It's a big model. So that's the Ultramarine Force. It's quite compact, but it's got a lot of good stuff in it. The Death Guard Force contains another 10 of the Poxwalkers. You get 6 of the Easy Build Poxwalkers in the first Strike Box set, and so here you get another 10. And yeah, they're not my favourite models. They're obviously, because they're normal, regular human size, they seem quite wimpy in comparison to obviously the Death Guard Space Marines are genetically engineered anyway, and then the Primaris Space Marines are genetically engineered +1 to be absolutely huge. The Poxwalkers, they're not single-piece models. I don't think any of them were more than 2 pieces, though. This guy was literally just the head pushed on. That's the other thing. You will notice that they're not slaughter bases this time around. You do need to glue the models onto the base. In First Strike, they were all slaughter bases, again, to avoid the necessity for glue. But yeah, I mean, the Poxwalkers are nice models, but they just, compared to everything else in the set, they're, you know, it's unfortunate really that they're alongside such lovely models, because it does make them pale a little bit. But I do like this guy. Look at his... I'll get him in focus. Look at that smile. That is a smile only a mother could love. and even then it's up for debate. But he's really good, and he's got this classic horror movie thing going on where he's like dragging the mallet behind him and he's wearing a trench coat. He's wearing a trench coat and he's dragging a mallet, so it's kind of like that whole classic horror movie. It should be an axe really rather than a hammer, but I like that a lot. That's probably my favourite Poxwalker. He's fun. Okay, then you get a unit of 5 Death Guard Space Marines. You don't get a sergeant in this unit, you just get 5 Death Guard, and this is my favourite model in the set. It's absolutely brilliant. I mentioned this in the unboxing. This is the really dynamic model where he's running and shooting his bolter, and absolutely love it. He's got flames coming out the top of his backpack there, and bells everywhere because the Death Guard are really into bells. But really, really lovely model. And in fact, the Death Guards are my favourite models in the whole set. I'm not going to show you every single one, but look at that. Isn't that awesome? Really, really, really. I mean, I'm loath to say a beautiful model for obvious reasons, but just really, really good stuff. So you get 4 with bolt guns, and then you get 1 with a regular old-fashioned plasma gun, which again you can overcharge to do epic devastation or accidentally blow yourself up. Like him a lot. And then you get, this will be a bit more difficult for me to get in shot because it's quite big. This is the Blight Drone, which is just a really cool model. It's kind of like a combination of horrible fleshy bits and tentacles and robotic components. It's actually a vehicle. It flies. It's got really, really powerful weaponry, and compared to a regular Death Guard Marine, it's quite big. And yeah, really cool. Goes together really nicely. And this is one of those ways in which No Fear steps up the game a little bit by introducing vehicles into the mix, and it's a really good vehicle. It's not a transport, you can't get anyone inside it or anything, but it's fast, it flies, and it puts down some lethal firepower. And the last model in the set, I'm coming up to nearly 13 minutes on this video, which is longer than I intended to do for a quick view of the built models, but this is the last one. And I mentioned this before as well, that when I saw this model, it was one of those moments where I just went, I have to have that model in my collection because it's just such a good model. This is the captain of the Death Guard. He's in Terminator armor, so he's big, and he is standing on some nerdlings there. He's got this. He doesn't have any ranged weaponry at all, but this axe literally can put down the enemy captain in a single hit if he gets a good strike on. And it's just such a good model. And he's got classic tattered cape going on there. And he's just really good. And again, if I was saying about the Poxwalkers being very, very small in comparison, you can see there they just don't measure up to their genetically engineered brethren. And in fact, obviously, because this guy's in Terminator armor, he's much, much bigger than the regular Death Guard, and he is actually comparable in size to the Primaris captain. So, you know. And there you have it. That's all of the miniatures from the Warhammer 40,000 No Fear starter set. Just to quickly recap, you get the Blight Drone, you get the Terminator Captain, you get 10 Poxwalkers, and a unit of 5 Death Guard Plague Marines. And for the Ultramarines over here, you get 3 Inceptors, you get 5 Intercessors, 5 Hellblasters, and the Captain. And that's not a bad amount of miniatures for the price you pay. The recommended retail price for No Fear is £50, and I paid £42 online, and I'm very happy with that. And that's all I've got to say at the moment. Next up, I'm going to be doing some playthroughs of the learning scenarios from the big 96-page book that's included in the set, and yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Hopefully I will see you there. Bye for now.